What is going on YouTube? This is Soccer Junkie and today I'm bringing you my review of Everton's big game against Arsenal on Saturday that ended in a draw 2-2. Now, honestly, before even this game started, I thought Everton was going to win 2-1. And the reason why I thought that was because, first of all, Arsenal played over the week against Besiktas, couldn't get a result. I thought they were going to be feeling a little down, so they wouldn't be, really sort of 100% up for the game, even though it is against Everton, who beat them last season 3-0. And that's also another reason why I thought Everton was going to win, is because they already beat them last season, so they have that confidence going into the game that they could do it again. And obviously, this game was a game of two halves. In the first half, Everton completely bossed the game. They completely made Chambers and Debussy look like schmucks on the field, constantly running past them. Kevin Morales was doing spectacular things on the field, just completely terrorizing that Arsenal defense. And honestly, Arsenal defense is very, very weak. And before the game even started, when I saw that Per Mertesacker was in the game, I was like, oh, there's going to be some trouble for Arsenal, because that man is slow. And Lukaku, especially for that second goal, when he basically beat off, I think it was first he mugged off, I think it was Chambers, or I believe it was Chambers, and then he ran past Mertesacker to brilliantly pass the ball into Naismith, who scored that second goal for Everton. Honestly, this was very easy to see in terms of a neutral, that Everton was going to be able to break that defense down. And Debussy, the new signing for Arsenal, he looks decent going forward, but in terms of his defensive skills, he's very poor in my opinion. He's not the best of tracking back. Chambers, he's still, finding his feet at Arsenal. He's a young man. He's got a lot to learn. So he made a few tackles that were a bit rushed and really unnecessary. And at the same time, he didn't mark his man a couple of times as well as he perhaps should have. Now, Naismith was definitely man of the match for Everton this game. Leighton Baines also did a really good job for Everton, going in that left side and crossing the ball in and whatnot. Really great to see that from Everton. I honestly rate them pretty highly, just because of their manager, Roberto Martinez. He's a brilliant technician in my opinion. And honestly, when I saw the game sheets for this game, I thought that Wenger really got his tactics all wrong. I would never put Sanchez by himself up front. I would have put, from the start, I would put Giroud and that sort of main striker man. I would have dropped Wilshere and put Santi Cazorla in the middle, even though he's more of a cam, but I would put him in the middle, just let him be. Also, I would have definitely dropped Ozil and put someone else in there. Perhaps I would put Chamberlain on one side, Sanchez on the other side, and basically Giroud in the middle. That's what I would have done if I was the manager, but Arsene Wenger chose something else, and he basically paid for it in that first half. There was no real threat coming from Arsenal at all. Sure, at times, they had the kicks, and Oxlade-Chamberlain looked probably the brightest man out there for Arsenal in that first half, but nevertheless, they were completely very poor. And honestly, if they don't fix their defense, if they don't get defensive help, and someone who's a quality holding midfielder, they could be really in a season of trouble, in my opinion, because Wilshere, you saw that man play. He's not a very good holding midfielder. He cannot play that role very well. Plus, he's very reckless at times. He really gets frustrated, and when he gets frustrated, he commits stupid fouls and he gets booked. No, you don't want that. As a manager of a club, you don't want to see that happen. And as I mentioned before, the defense is just poor and very slow. Like Mertesacker, he's like a snail out there. He's like a snail. Debussy, yeah, sure, he can go in there. He can provide a cross on occasion, but at the same time, if he doesn't track back very well, and another thing is, if he doesn't have the help of someone else helping him, a winger or whatever, they're really going to be struggling a lot. So really, on to the second half. In the second half, Arsenal really played much better. Giroud came on, and really, that first 5 minutes of the game, he really kind of pushed things around, really ignited Arsenal. After that, the things kind of cooled off a little bit, and I thought, okay, Everton is going to see this through. But no, they didn't, and the reason why they didn't, I think, is because they dropped completely, just they sort of dropped the game. They thought, okay, 2-0, we got this. We don't have to go forward as much. Let's just play, you know, pass here and there, blah, 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 to get 3 points. But that's not how it works in Premier League and world football. You know, if you come out flat in the second half after being 2-0 up, you can easily get beaten on a counter. And, you know, once you concede the first goal, then the pressure rises and you feel that anxiety as a defender, as a player, and you really start to make mistakes. And that's exactly what happened today. Santi Cazorla put a brilliant pass to basically in the center of the penalty box, and Aaron Ramsey poked it in. And it was a brilliant goal, but at the same time, it could have been easily avoided if Everton defenders had more urgency. They really lacked urgency on that play. It was really kind of a slow. It was very slow build-up, but nevertheless, it was a precise pass and excellent goal from Ramsey, who looks to be, like I said in my preview of the season, best man for Arsenal out there. Now, the second goal, Giroud, honestly, if he was playing from the start, I think Arsenal would have probably won this game. But since he didn't, they tied, and they could have easily won. Giroud had, I think he had like 4 chances to score, and you know, his last one, he finally did it. So hats off to him. But Everton, you know, Everton simply dropped too much. In the second half, they were very flat. They really didn't offer much going forward. And once Lukaku came off, I knew they were in trouble because there was no one else out there who could really hold the ball and really score. Lukaku looked decent. You know, he provided that assist to Naismith, like I mentioned before. So this could be a really good learning lesson for Everton. You know, you were 2-0 up in the first half. In the second half, you came out, you were flat, you dropped off, you allowed Arsenal to really get into their gears and really have more possession and really kind of put the pressure on you. You know, the next time around, hopefully Everton will not allow this to happen. They will actually try to push forward and get that third goal. Because that's what I would have done. I would never be satisfied with 2-0 after a first half. You know, it's just because you got 45 minutes and a lot can happen in 45 minutes, you know. So for Everton, this is a kind of a learning lesson. For Arsenal, Arsene Wenger really needs to find some help in the defensive department in this transfer window before it closes. Really, holding midfielder, probably a faster center back, a really quality faster center back to replace Mertesacker, or maybe not replace, but to help them basically solidify that back line, because at the moment they're very poor. These are my thoughts on the game, on the big game. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Wenger should have put Giroud from the start, and perhaps that could have probably given them all 3 points in this game? And what happened? What would you do if you were Roberto Martinez in that halftime? Hit the like button, share this video, and peace.